Okay, today we're going to go through section 4.2 called Picture This. We'll be going over graphing bar graphs, histograms, line graphs, and pie charts. Okay, so let's go through a bar graph. So what is a bar graph? So a bar graph is pretty much used, it's used to show comparisons among several different data. Right? The graph contains vertical bars with gaps between them. And the reason why they have gaps is so that you can see the comparisons. Legends are used to denote the very different variables. Legends are used to denote the different variables used. Okay. So my example that I'm going to use is so I asked one of my classes, how many hours of sleep do they get on the average per night, right? And so we recorded the findings from 2018 all the way through 2022. So here's 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. Okay. And we are different. We're going to compare females with males. Right. And the title of it is number of hours of sleep per night. So that's the description of our data that we're going to collect. So let's say, for example, females said in 2018, they got about 7 hours of sleep per night. 2019, 8 hours of sleep per night. 2020, 9 hours. Of course, the pandemic, right? They got to sleep in more. 9 hours again, and 7 hours. Males, 5 hours of sleep in 2018, 7 hours, 7 hours, 6 hours, and 8 hours. So this is an average among males. Let me write this better, a little bit more clear. Right. And so I want to create a bar graph based off our data of the number of hours of sleep per night. All right, so I drew this by hand. Of course, I'm going to show you how to do it by hand, and I'll also show you how to do it through Excel. We can have Excel graph our bar graph, and I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. So here's my hand drawing of the data. And so here's our data. And here is my hand drawing of the data. Right. So I should have used green for the males, but I used male. So, all right, so here's my legend. I'm going to use red for females, blue for males. And I have this axis. I got my vertical and I have my horizontal. So along the vertical axis, I have the number of hours per sleep per night, right? I put day, or is it per night? You don't sleep during the day, but per night, right? And what you do is you have to label these in a pattern, in increments. They got to be in equal increments. So we started out with 2, 4, 6. We did in evens. Okay, so you don't want to do 2, 5, 6, 8, 11. They got to be in equal increments. So I did them in 2s. Okay. On my horizontal scale, I put the dates: 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22. And so you go back to your data and you start with 2018, right? And so females, you draw your red bar graph and it goes up to 7. Yeah, more or less, it goes up to 7. Males, it is 5. So, close enough. Well, it's not 5. That's not 5. That is 3. So 5 should be about here. There's 5. Right. So there's 2018. 2019 goes 8 and 7. 8 and 7. It's not lined up evenly, but that's, I'm doing it by hand. And then for 2020, here's 2020. Let's see the data for 2020 says 9 to 7. So 9's about there, 7's about there. And then for 2021, 9 and 6. So there's about 9, yeah. And 6 is about there, close enough. And finally, 2022, it goes to 7. 7 for females, that looks like 8 to me. 7 and 8. Kind of hard to see, but it's about 7. Yeah. Again, this is drawn by hand, right? So it would have helped if I had a ruler. I had a ruler. 7 should be about there, right? 7 should be there. And so, yeah, I drew this one a little bit off. So that should have been about there. There's 7. There's 7. Right, 7. Okay. So yeah, it gets a little bit difficult if you do it by hand. So you do need tools like a ruler to actually get the right, line them up according to the level, right? So that's how you do it by hand. And notice again that there's gaps. You have gaps in between. The reason why there's gaps is so that way you can see the years and the comparisons of those two variables, the males and females and males and females. There's a gap. There's a year 2019. You can see the comparison and so forth. So that's what a bar graph looks like by hand. Now, if you want to do this in Excel, let me show you how to do it in Excel. So, so on my Excel spreadsheet, this is what you do. So you have to put the years here. So I'm going to put 2018, 2019. I might cheat a little bit. And I'm just gonna go to 2022. Right, and I'm gonna zoom it in. So I'll put the years here, and then I'm gonna put females. And these are just titles. You gotta put the titles and males. And I'm gonna put the values that we had. So we had 7, 8, 9, 9, 7 hours. For the males, it was 5 hours for 2018, 7 for 2019, 7 for 2020, 6 for 2021, and 8 for 2022. Okay, so what do I do? So now we are ready to graph it. So on Excel, what you're going to have to do is you are going to have to highlight the, let me think. You have to highlight this part, right? So you left click, hold, drag, and cover up females and males. And you want to go to the insert tab way at the top, insert. And we're going to choose at the top, there is a button. Hopefully I can get it because I can't see it with my little tab. But it looks like this. It's right underneath the Acrobat tab at the very top, the very first bar graph. And I think it got kicked out. Let me highlight that again. All right, so you're going to click on it, and you're going to choose the second one. Let's try it again. So left click, hold, drag, and highlight females and males. Let go. Then you, underneath the Acrobat tab at the very top, you're going to click on the first bar chart where it says insert column or bar chart. You click on that one. And you choose the first two-dimensional column option. So that one. You're going to click on that one. And there's the bar chart for the females and the males. Now notice the colors are off. And so you can change them. So you can just click on the first blue chart. If you click on it, it'll highlight it, all of them, and you right click, and then you can click on fill. And I'm going to change that fill color to red. Right. And you do the same thing for the second bar, right? It highlighted all of them, right click, click on fill, and we're going to choose the blue, right? So red, and you can see the legend there, right? This is females, males. Now, I know you're saying, well, it doesn't have the dates, or how do I get the dates on there? Okay, so to get the dates, that's the tricky part. To get the dates, what you have to do is, you see these numbers at the bottom on the horizontal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just click on one of them with the left clicker. Just click on one of those numbers. I'm going to just click on the 2. I'm going to click it once, and notice right now the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is not in anything. It's just by themselves, right? So if you click on it, left click on it, it'll create a rectangle that surrounds all the numbers 1 to 5. Once you have that, you're going to right click, and you're going to click on select data, right? So let's try it again. Click on a number on the horizontal scale, any one of them, click it. It'll form a rectangle. Right click on it, click on select data, and you're going to click on right here where it says horizontal category axis labels. You want to click on edit, this button right there, edit, click on it. And then it's going to say axis label. So you're going to go back over here on your spreadsheet, and you're going to highlight, left click and hold 2018, and then drag it down to 2021, and then let go. And voila, your dates, and you hit OK, and you hit OK. And there's your bar graph for the data that we had. So I'm going to label it and call it number of, oops, let's see if I can highlight it. Number of hours of sleep per night. And I titled I titled it. There you go. You can put it, adjust it however you want. I'm trying to get it centered. And there's a graph. Right. So that's how you do a bar chart in Excel. And this is much better. So now you can accurately see the stacks, how they're lined up, and they have the little lines there. So it makes it much easier to view than mine. So that's how you do a bar chart on Excel. Okay, so the next graph that we're going to show is going to be called the histogram. So a lot of students get the two graphs confused. Distinguishing histogram and bar graphs, they're two separate things, right? So one distinction is that bar graphs, you're comparing different variables. Like in our case, the example that we did was comparing males and females. For histogram, you're only talking about one particular variable, right? So histogram, you are graphing one single type variable of data. And for this case, there is no gap, although there are a little bitty gap in between. And that's how, if you use any statistical software, there is a little gap. So you can't get away, you can't get around that. It's just set. If you do it by hand, there aren't any gaps. But you'll see in a few minutes, I'll show you that when you graph it using Excel or StatDisk, there are bars in between them. All right, so the bars are all connected. The frequency, the graph of a frequency, it is the graph of a frequency distribution. Let me correct myself here. It is a graph of a frequency distribution table, or a grouped frequency distribution. Okay. All right, so let's let's talk about, let's do an example. So for example, we can do blood types. Right? So we ask people what their blood types are, right? And so we have group A, we have type A, type O, type B, and type AB. Right? And we survey people and a class, and 5 say that they are type A, 9 or type O, 7 or type B, and 4 or type AB. Okay. So I'm gonna show you my hand-drawn one. Just to show you, I am not an artist. A lot of you are artists. That's why you're in liberal arts math, because you're probably artists. All right. And so here is my graph of my histogram. Right. It's one variable. You're talking about blood types, right? And so here's my graph of my histogram. Right. So again, you have your vertical scale, the number of individuals with the blood types, and then here are your blood types. So here's 5. So I'm going to, for the A's, I'm going to go up 5. There's my block for the A's, type A's. Then the next one, I'm going to go up to 9. Goes there. B's are 7s, goes up to there. And type AB is 4, and it goes there. Right, so that's how a histogram looks like. So it's all one, and the bars are all connected. Right, they're all connected. Now, if you're going to use software like Excel or StatDisk, StatDisk will not be able to do a frequency distribution table, right? It only allows, you can't do labels. These are qualitative. These are qualitative data. They're labels. Quantitative are numbers, but these you cannot do it on software. And so I can share with you how that works, but there will be gaps in the graph. So, and I think in Excel, I think they removed that feature, but we'll see. Let's try it out and see if it works, just to see. All right, so I'm going to try it in Excel. Okay, so let me get a new sheet open. Okay, and I'm going to put my labels. So my labels were type A, type A, type O, type B, and type AB. I can't zoom in. Why is it not zooming in? Oh, for some reason it's not zooming in. There you go. And I had 5 people responded that they're type A, 9 were type O, 7 were type B, and 4 were type AB. I'm gonna make it prettier, line them up. All right, so let me see. So we'll highlight it. Left click, hold, and highlight. And I'm gonna hit insert. And let me see if I can find histogram. This type of, let me see if that's gonna work. Let me see. Maybe there's a histogram on here. Recommended charts. Yeah, you see this one, if I do this one, there's your type A, type O, right? You get a bar chart, but you want them together. So maybe there's a histogram on here somewhere. Let me see if that works. Yeah, it's not gonna work. No. Column. Ah. No. Well, this is the chart that we get, and notice that I wanted it together. It's not going to give me the option to. Oh yeah, I do. Look at that. I found it. Ha ha ha. I found it. Okay, let's go back. I just discovered it. All right, so what did I do? All right, so I did left click, hold, drag, and then I'm going to go to insert, and I'm going to click on, I guess this one. No, what did I click on? I guess recommended. I think I did recommended. Okay, try it again. Left click, hold, drag, click on recommended charts. You're gonna click on all charts. There's two of them. You got recommended and you have all charts. You're gonna click on all charts and you're gonna select the column one, I think. Yeah, select column and you're gonna choose the second one, all right? Choose the second one, the one that has all the colors. And you hit okay. And then you can select from the top here, you can choose the ones that are stuck together. And this is the one that's stuck together. And that, my friends, is a histogram. But the thing is, I don't see the vertical and the horizontal scale. So I'm gonna have to look and find one that has, there it is, there's one. Well, they're kind of overlapping. Okay, well, there isn't going to be one where they, oh, there's one. That's it. I got it. Bam. It was the third option. And so here is a histogram. Notice that the bars are stuck together. And they're the stacks. They're the types. Boom. This is called blood types. Awesome. I figured it out. It took me a while, but I figured it. Oh, we didn't, well, it already has the, it's got the legend. I wonder if I can move it down below. Is that possible? Yeah. I could put it on the bottom. Excellent. So yeah, you can actually, I was able to move I don't know why there's a 1 on the bottom. I don't know why there's a 1. Let me see if I can take that 1 off. Is there a way I can take that 1 off? That 1 is bothering me. Edit. Can I delete it? I guess I can delete it. And yeah, I deleted the 1. So there you go. And there's your graph. There is your histogram. It's very, very difficult. That was more difficult than the other one. So we can go through it again. So I highlight, left click, hold, and drag the names of the labels and the accounts. You go to insert recommended charts. You click on all charts. You click on the second option on the side, the one that has the bars. And then you select the one that you want. Which one would say we wanted? Now I can't find it no more. There it is. It was the second. There's a second row, third option. Yeah, there you go. At the top. So that's the first row, and then second row. There it is. There you go. And then you can move the legends below. Let me, I go, hopefully I can take that off. Yeah. There you go. And there's your histogram. All right. Now for the grouped frequency distribution table, you can do it by hand also. Excel doesn't graph correctly again because of the large gaps, but StatDisk can do it. Well, we'll see. I think I can do it now. I think I can do it now in Excel now that I know how to do it. Let's find out. All right, so let's do it. Let's do a histogram with the grouped frequency distribution table. All right, so let me move this over here out of the way. And so we'll create a histogram for the grouped frequency distribution. Distribution. Table. All right, so you can do by hand. And I would rather just do it by Excel. I would not do it using StatDisk and by Excel. So now that I know how to do it, right? Okay, so let's do an example of one where we have a group frequency distribution. All right, so here is an example. So let's say that we did one example with our age. What age did we start to drink, right? Age when first drank alcohol. And we had our tally. And we had our frequencies. Right. And so we had our intervals. Remember, we had our intervals, 17 through 20, 21 through 24, 25 through 28, 29 through 32, and our tallies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. This one didn't have anything. 2. And so we had 9. Number 6, 9. This one had 2. This one had 0. And this one had 2. Right, so I'm going to draw it. Please, please. No need to be, don't be jealous. It's a professional. And here is my histogram for our grouped data. So this is the number of students, right? We got our alcohol, right? So for the age, we have ages there. We have our number of students. We have ages 17 to 20, 21 to 24, 25 to 28, 29 to 32. So it went up 9. This one went up to 2. This one didn't have anything, so it's 0. And we have 2. Right. So the only difference is that on a grouped, these horizontal legends, we didn't have like the other ones, the type O, type A, or type A, type O, type B, type AB, right? These you have the intervals of the ages. Okay. Now, let's see if we can do it now on, let's see if we can do it in Excel. All right, so let's see. Okay, so let's see. Let's do it on Excel. So let me open up Excel. So I'm going to do another sheet. Okay, so I'm going to put my my intervals of the ages, right? The intervals for the ages were 17 through 20. So I'm going to put 17 through 20, 21 through 24. Next one is 25 through 28. And the next one is 29 through 32. So someone's asking me, why is it that whenever you put a minuser, it doesn't say that it's subtract? Okay, well, when you do an Excel, when you're using Excel, each cell that you enter is already programmed to be text. It's in text format already. It's already programmed to be in text format. If you click on a cell and you want to do a mathematical computation, you have to hit the equals. And that's where you're telling Excel, hey, Excel, can you compute 17 minus 20? Then it'll do the computation. You see how it comes out to negative? But the thing is, you're not using equals. So these automatically come out to be text. They're labels. So someone was asking, how come it doesn't come out in subtract? Yeah, you have to hit equals if you want Excel to compute the subtraction on it. All right, so since these are labels, I'm going to put my frequency. So it was 9202. And we're going to do the same procedure like we did on the blood types. So left click, hold, drag. You're going to go to insert, and we're going to click on recommended charts. I'm going to click on all charts. I'm going to select the second one. And I want the one where they are connected. So this is the first row. I'm going to click the little arrow, and I believe this one is it. Bam. There it is. Let me take out that one. I don't like that one on there. And there's your chart. There's your histogram. So this one went up to 9, that one went up to 2, there's 0, and I should have moved it down first. Let's see if I can undo it. Can I move that down? I'm trying to get rid of that one. I don't like that one on there. Let's see if I can get rid of that one. There you go. Nah, I can't get it to show on the bottom. I don't know. So there you go. There's your histogram for the group data. So again, the horizontal scale are the increments, the intervals, not the increments, but the intervals. Those are the intervals. So there's your histogram for a grouped data. All right, now let's look at the next graph. The next one's called a line graph. So a line graph is usually used in the economics accounting field or disciplines. So let me give you the title. So it is a line graph. So a line graph, also referred to as a time series. That's what they refer to it in the economics and the accounting area. It's called a time series. It is a graph that depicts time with another variable. So you plot points, X, Y coordinates on the graph. Right. So your date is the X. This is the date. And then you have the amount, XY. And so you have kind of like a grid in math, you all plotted XY coordinates. Here's your X, here's your X, and then your Y. Right, so you have your time here, and you have your amounts there. Right. So let me give you all an example of a time series. So I don't like to buy stocks. I'm not into that. You really got to be you really got to be really good and do your research if you're going to buy stocks. So I would not recommend you, if you don't know how to buy stocks, I would test it out first. You would, do a little mock, like you want to buy stock and just monitor it. Suppose you bought a certain amount of stocks and just monitor it for a while and see if you make any money. So I bought, because I have a dog. I have a Shiba Inu. That's a Japanese dog, and so we found out that there is a cryptocurrency called Dogecoin. And so I was like, wait, maybe that's meant to be, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and buy some stock in Dogecoin. So I bought some. I figured, hey, because I have a dog, maybe that's a coincidence, right? And so I bought Dogecoin, cryptocurrency. And so at the time when it came out, they were 4 cents per share. 4 cents, okay? So I bought, I bought 3, 4, 5, 6, so 3,000 purchased. I purchased 3,456. Yeah, because 3, 4, 5, yeah. I purchased 3,456. And that was, I think that was 2 years ago or a year ago. I think 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, I bought it. And so I bought, and so the prices went up from 4 cents and it went all the way up to 50 cents per share. And so I was like, wow, I'm going to leave it there because I'm thinking maybe it's going to become Bitcoin maybe. But no, my dreams were shattered. It went back down. It went back all the way from 50. It went all the way down to like 11. And now it's going back to 14. So I should have sold them when it was at 50 cents a share, and I didn't. But oh well. I only paid like, I don't know, how much did I pay for 4 cents? I donated. I donated 3, 4, 5, 6. I put in $138.24. Man, whoop-de-doo, right? So I left it there. It's there. Maybe it'll go back up. Next time, if it goes up, I'll sell. But again, you really have to keep track of your stocks every day. And then look at the news, because the news and events that occur around the world really have an impact on your stocks. So yeah. All right, so yeah, I bought them last year. Okay, so here's my data, and I kept track of it, of my Dogecoin. So back in March of 2021, it was at 4 cents. April, it went up to 8 cents. May went to 11. June went up to 24. July, 32. August, it went up to 21. I don't see the 50. Anyways, I think it went up to 50, or maybe it got close to it. Anyways, it went to 40. September, on the average, it was 40. And then it went to 31, and it started going down. 22, 20, 19, 17, 13, now it's 12. So April is back up to 14, but I didn't put it on there. All right, so I want to create a time series based off of my data. So just like you did with the, if I were to do it by hand, right? Yeah, I wouldn't fit it. It wouldn't be able to fit on my paper. But you would put the month and the year. So it would go March 2021, April 21, May 21, and so forth. Right? You keep going. You keep going, and then you start putting your price per share. 0.04. I'm going to do it in increments of 0.4. So you put your price per share, cost per share, and you got your dates. And so what you would do is you would get your 0.4. Boom, you put a little dot. April 8. Right. And so each value that you do, you put a dot on there. That sounded weird. I sound like English, a dot. You put a dot for each of these amounts. Now it's very painful to do by hand, so I'm going to let Excel do it for me. So let's let Excel do it for me. And so I'm gonna put in the dates and the amounts on Excel. So let me go back to Excel. I love Excel. And make my fourth sheet. And I'll go ahead and start putting in my March 21. April, oh, great. April 21. Let's see. No. Let me fix it. Let me do it. Let's see if it's gonna work. I'm gonna cheat. December up to there. All right. And let me format it. Format cells. I want date, month and year. Where is month and year? It's not gonna let me do it. Month and year. Month and year. Nope. Well, that's fine. We'll do 21. 21. Okay, let's see if this is gonna work. Come on. There you go. There you go, to March. Format cells. I just want the month and the year. It's not letting me do it. Anyways. All right, well, there you go. And I'll put the price. But I wanted the month like labeled. I'm so picky. I know, I'm so picky. There we go. No, I don't want the whole. Very picky. Am I not picky? Yeah, I'm picky. No. Leave it at that. All right, anyways. And I'm gonna put the price. 0.04, 0.0. I wish I went up to 9. 0.08, 0.11, 0.24, 0.32, 0.40, 0.40, 0.31, 0.22, 0.20, 0.19, 0.17, 0.13, 0.13, and 0.13. Oh, put too many 13s. Put them too many decimal points. And 0.12. Okay, so there's our data. I'm going to organize it. Okay, so I had the date. Insert. Date. Cost per share. I'm going to highlight. I'm going to highlight just the cost. Right, you're going to highlight just the cost. Left click, hold and drag. And this time you're going to go to insert. And you're going to click on right underneath the bar chart, underneath Acrobat. There's one where they have like little lines going up and down, up and down. That's the one that you want to select. And I want one with dots. So I'm going to select the fourth option. Okay. So there's my stocks, how they were performing. Now, the only thing is that my horizontal scale, my vertical is fine, but the horizontal scale, I want the dates to appear. So I'm going to do like I did before. So I'm going to click on the horizontal scales with the numbers. I'm just going to pick one number. I'm going to pick 5. It'll enclose it in a box. And then I'm going to right click. I'm going to hit select data. I'm going to hit edit, horizontal axis labels, hit edit. And I'm going to highlight the dates. And presto, the dates appear. So each dot has a specific date corresponding to its cost. And that's what a line graph is. Pretty snabby, huh? Pretty snabby. I need to title it Dogecoin stock tracker. There we go. So I'm gonna leave it there. And hopefully I'll become rich. Nah. All right. So there's your time series line graph. Okay, so now we got one more graph we got to do. And this one's called the infamous pie chart. So what is a pie chart? Okay, so a pie chart divides a circle into pie slices. Each piece is a percentage of the entire circle. So total percentage of a circle is 100%. Right. And you got to remember too, in degrees, we're going to be using degrees. In degrees, a whole circle is 360 degrees. If you have ever taken geometry, we used to use tools. You remember those tools that you used back in geometry? You remember those days, geometry, if you're taking geometry, you had a tool that went like this. 0 degrees, 90, 180. Right, that was called a protractor. And then you had this other tool that looked like that. It was very pointy little thing. You get the little pen, pencil. That was a compass. Yeah, we couldn't use those in school because we used to use them as weapons. Yeah. All right, so compass. So when we graphed them, oh, I didn't bring my markers. When we graphed them, should have brought my highlighters. Forgot to bring my highlighters. Or maybe I do have my highlighters. I only have, I left them over there. I got pink. Let's see, I got orange. Orange. Yellow. Man, I left the purple at home. Pink. Pink. And I hope I have purple. I'll have to wing it. I'll have to use my Expo marker. Yeah. Oh well. And purple. it looks like a black marker, but it's really purple, people. It is purple. There, purple. And my purple. It looks black, but it's purple. Yeah. Oh yeah, I do have purple. Ah, I found it, but it's too late. It's too late. Too late. It's purple. All right, so we're gonna draw one of these. Okay, now Excel is going to be a lifesaver. It can do it like awesome. It'll do it in a quick, easy manner. By hand is going to be a treat. So I'm going to show you how to do both. I'm going to show you how to do Excel and by hand. So bear with me. All right, so let's do one. Let's do one. So I asked students, I gave them an example, and I asked them, what's wrong with this picture? All right, so let me give you a picture, and you tell me what is wrong with my example. So here's an example of a bad pie chart. What's wrong with it? Right, so a whole bunch of issues, right? Well, for one, it does not equal to 100. So if you add up all the pieces, I think it goes over 100. So that's one issue. Another one is that each piece does not match the percentage wise with the piece, right? So yeah, 40 is smaller than 20%. So that's, yeah, the amount of space that's indicated by the percentage is not matching, right? So those are the main things that are incorrect. So you want to look at graphs like that. If they're drawn incorrectly and the percentages are not fitting the piece that it depicts, right? So, all right, so we're going to do one. So I asked students where is their best place to eat hamburgers? All right. And so here's a list of the names of the places that they said. So we had Whataburger, In-N-Out, Wendy's, Red Robin, and Chris Madrid's. So a lot of people didn't know what Chris Madrid's was. It's on Blanco, downtown. Check it out. It burned down, but they rebuilt it. And so Only one complaint, the burgers are now getting smaller. They used to be huge, but now they're like small. So not good, but they're good anyways. I haven't been there in a long time. We should go there one of these days. Right, and so we did a poll and come to find out that 60% of the students prefer Whataburger. 13, I agree, 13's right. In-N-Out is, I like In-N-Out burger. They taste good. I liked it. Oh, we didn't do Burger Boy. Okay, anyways, and then we had Wendy's 7%, Red Robin was 7, Chris Madrid's was 13. All right, so on Excel, okay, that's all you need. Okay, you only need those. But when you use Excel, when you enter, you're going to type in the labels, the names of the places for the hamburgers on one column, and the other column, you're going to put your percentages, but don't put the percent symbol. You only want to put the number in to the cell. Do not include percentages. I don't know why that's the case, but you have to. All right, so let's put those in. So I'm going to go to Excel. Get into the sheet. And I'm going to put my names of the hamburger joints. So we had Whataburger, In and Out, Wendy's, Wendy'd, Red Robin, Yum, and Chris Madrid's. All right. So I'm putting my labels. Let me scooch it over, put it in, line them up. And I'm gonna put my percentages. So you put 60, that's all you do. Don't put the percent symbol. Otherwise it's not gonna work. 60, 13, 7, 7, and 13. Right, so you put your labels, you put your numbers, not the percents. Then you go and you highlight, left click, hold and drag the two columns containing our labels and the numbers, let go. You go underneath, you go to insert, and you're gonna click on the very bottom one, right underneath Acrobat, the third option, the circle, insert pie or donut chart. You're gonna click on that one. And you can either choose 2 dimensions or 3 dimensions. I like the 3 dimensions. Let's do 3 dimensions. Right, so you click on 3 dimensions and then you can pick from the choices that are here. So I want one that has the percentages on there. Trying to find one. That's too cluttered. Ah, that's nice. Well, I don't know. The labels are kind of like all kind of. Wendy's was 7. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. Let's see, it's Wendy's, there's Wendy's, Red Robin, Chris Madrid. There you go. So you have the labels and you have the percentages. So there's your pie chart. And you can pick a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of other options that you can choose. Oh, that's a nice one. Look at that one. I didn't see that one. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. Right. So you can change the colors if you want. If you want to change the colors, you just you click on a piece with your left clicker, click on it. Did I click on it? Yeah, left click on the piece, right click, and then do fill, and you can pick green. Bam, see, it'll do it in green. Or you should have done that one in orange. Right, so you can change the colors as they appear. So there's your pie chart. And you can actually move pieces out. So if you click on Whataburger, right, click on it, and then left click, hold, and then move it to the right, and it'll break the piece off. How exciting, right? How exciting. So yeah, that's how you do it in Excel. Now we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you how to do it manually. Okay, so let me show you all how to do it manually. So before I do that, I'm going to show you all first that, let me put it back on my screen, because this is going to come into play later in when we do it by hand. So just to remind you, so you have percentages, right? These were all percentages. I need to be able to convert percent to decimal. So basically all you do is either you move your decimal 2 places to the left, or you divide that number by 100. If you divide it by 100, you're going to get 0.60. Divide that by 100, 0.13. Divide that by 100, 0.07. You can try it in your calculator. It should work. Divide each of these numbers by 100. You should get the decimals, or you can move your decimals. Fractions, you don't need to worry about changing them to fractions. Basically, what you do is if you change it, if you divide each number by 100 and reduce, it should come out to this percentage. So if I do on my calculator, if I do 60 and I hit this ND button right there underneath the PRB over 100 and you hit enter, you get 36. Right. If you do 13 over 100, 13 ND over 100. How did I get 2/15? Anyways, that's wrong. That should be 13 over 100. 13 over 100. If I do 7 ND over 100, you get 7 over 100. 7 over 100. And 13 over 100. Right. And reduce. Right. So we're going to do, what we're going to do is we are going to convert, we're going to do this by hand. And so I have this sheet that's going to help us graph it by hand. So you have on your unit circle, remember we talked about a circle goes around 360 degrees. Here's your 90 and here's your 180, and then it goes to 270 and then it goes to 3. So that's 360. And so we're gonna graph the burgers by hand. All right, so this is how we're gonna do it. So I am going to write down my percentage. I'm gonna write down everything again. So I'm gonna put Whataburger. We had Whataburger. Yeah, that happens when you after you eat Whataburger. 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 In-N-Out. Wendy's. Red Robin. Chris Madrid's. All right, and I have my percentages. It was 60, 13%, 7%, 7%, and 13%. These are my percentage. Okay. Now I have to convert these into decimals. It's like I said before, you're going to divide each of them by 100 and convert them to decimals. So you're going to do 60 divided by 100, 0.60. 13 divided by 100 equals 0.13. 7 divided by 100 equals 0.07. Likewise for the next one. And 13 over 100, 0.13. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to convert these numbers. We're going to convert these to degrees. All right. So to convert them to degrees, you're going to get this 0.60 and you multiply it times 360. And you're going to do it for all of the decimal values. You're going to multiply each of these decimal values by 360. Okay. So here we go. So I'm gonna get 0.60 times 360. You got to turn on the calculator first, of course. 0.60 times 360 is 216. Next one is 0.13 times 360 is 46.8. The next one, 0.07 times 360 is 25.2. Again, it's going to be 25.2. And the last one's going to be, oh, that should have been a 13, not a 7. That's a 13, not a 7. 0.13. That's going to be 46.8. And that's a 16. Okay, so this is what you do. So you start, so you're going to start with this one. So on your circle, right, this is where you start. So I'm gonna put a line from the center to 0. This is your start. Should have done it in pink. All right, so this is your start. Okay. And you're going to go for the first line, you're going to go up until you reach close to 216. That's going to be the end point. This is your starting point. The end point of that piece of your pie is going to end up being at that location at 216. So you're going to have to find 216. So you're going to go follow along and find close to 260. It's probably not going to be on it exactly. So you're going to have to kind of guesstimate where it's going to be at. So I'm going to go to 216. And I think 216 should be about, I'm going to say right there. There's 216. Right. And so I'm going to draw my end of my piece, right? And now I'm gonna go in and color in that piece. I should have done it in orange. I keep forgetting. And I color in, I'm gonna color in that piece there. So of course, I know I failed kindergarten at least 5 times because I couldn't color. Yeah, I didn't do well in coloring when I went to the Xavier Institute. So I had other issues. I had other powers, but not coloring was not one of them. All right. Okay, so that's Whataburger right there. Bam, Whataburger. Whataburger. Okay, so that's the red piece. Oof, that's so bright. I think my transitions just activated. All right, so that's Whataburger. Now, to get the in and out, all right, this is the edge of the in and out, right? The edge of Whataburger and the edge of in and out they're gonna match. Okay, I just need to find the endpoint so that way I can fill in the next color. So what you do is you have to add these two values together to give you the endpoint of where the in and out is going to end up being. So you're gonna add 216 plus 46.8, and that'll determine the edge of the in and out piece. So I'm gonna add, so let's add it up. So 216 plus 46.8 gives me 262.8. So I added 216, clear it, 216 plus 46.8 gives me a total of 262.8 degrees. So I'm gonna go along my circle. Hold on, I need to cut it. Oh, you can see it better. So I need to go to 262.8, and that'll give me the other edge for my in and out. So 262 is about there. There is 262.8 degrees. So I'm gonna draw my line. Orange, I'll use orange, and I color in that piece. So each time you add that total to the next piece to find the other piece of the pie. All right, so this one is in and out, which I should have done orange with Whataburger. But anyways, this one's in and out. In and out. All right, so I got the in and out. So now you're gonna add these two pieces. You're gonna add those. 26.62 plus 25.2. You're gonna add those up. So I'm gonna clear it. So I'm gonna add 262.8, and I'm gonna add 25.2, and that's at 288. So I'm going to go to 288. Start at 0. So 0 to 268 is Whataburger. 268 to 288 is going to be Wendy's. So I need to go to 288. I'm gonna say about there. There's 288 right there. Close enough. Where's 288? 288 288 degrees. And I'm going to fill in that piece there. Color that in. And that's my Wendy's. All right, so now I got to graph the Red Robin. So I'm going to add these two together, the 288 plus the 25.2, and that'll give me the edge for the Red Robin. So let's add 288 plus 25.2. It is at 313.2 degrees. So I'm going to go to 313, about there, more or less. 313.2 degrees. I'll do that in purple because I'm running low on markers, colors. So here's the piece for that. I don't think you guys can see the color or the descriptor of this piece, but oh, this is a strong marker. I haven't used this in 3 years. My word. Boy, it smells good. But no. All right. There is the Red Robin. Yum. That's the Red Robin. And we don't have to add these two together because I know if I add them together, you get back to 360. You guys can double check. If you add them, you should get 360. And so that's the last piece. I don't have another color. So I guess I'll use green. I don't have green, but I don't have a green one, but there's the green. And trust me, if you add that plus that, you get back to 360. So what you're doing is you start at 0. That's the first mark for the Whataburger, and it ends at 216. Then you add 216 plus the next degree. That'll give you the endpoint. Starts there and ends for the in and out, right there. Starts there, ends there. Starts there, ends there for Wendy's. Starts there, ends there. Red Robin starts there and then back to 360. So you keep adding. It's called cumulative. It's accumulating as you go down the pieces. You start at 0, you add, you stop there, then you add these two to get to the next one. Add this, add the sum plus the next one, add the sum plus the next one, add the sum plus the next one. And so you go all the way around the unit circle. And that's how we get the pie chart. My word, I need to turn off the lights. That thing is super, super bright. Super bright. I wish I can cover up. I can show all the pieces, but I don't think I can. I guess I can lift it up. Let me see. No, it's all blurry. I'm trying to get it all lined up for y'all. There. There you go. And that's your pie chart by hand.